Now back to the Azimio rallies yesterday. A section of the clergy and religious leaders have had a meeting today in Kibra after a church, a mosque and a school were razed down. They had a presser with the press earlier on, and this is what they had to say.
Hospitals, they breathe the same air given freely by God the Almighty. It is for these reasons that as religious leaders, we are deeply pained and regret the unfolding, sprawling incidences of violence linked to the nationwide protest called by the Azimio One Kenya coalition. It is unfortunate that these unsettling events are taking place just at the onset of the holy month of Ramadan, marked in the Islamic calendar for prayers and fasting.
Do not want a civil war. The people of Kibra are not ready or willing to be dismembered or to be used as tools of political convenience in the hands of some politicians. Right here, at this particular moment, in these disturbed Kibra grounds, we call on all Kenyan politicians to rise to the higher ground of sobriety and put the country first. First, we call on His Excellency, President William Samoei Ruto, to inclusively steady the ship of state. He is the leader of this nation state. And through his administration, with the instruments of power, to creatively use the power to make Kenya the home for all the people. Secondly, we appeal to former Prime Minister, Honorable Raila Odinga, to go easy on his militant political stance against the government and to call on his supporters to be peaceful. We appeal to him to refrain from making calls to his supporters about possible storming of the State House. Thirdly, we are calling on politicians to refrain, to cease and desist from using inflammatory language in political meetings and social media, to advance hard stances and to incite their ardent followers, which has inadvertently led to the unfortunate events of last night here in Kibra. The events of last night for us to travel back in time to the sad memories of brother against brother, Kenyan against Kenya in the aftermath of the 2007-2008 post-election confrontations that metamorphosed into dark days of violence, killings, destruction of property, and displacement of persons in their thousands. The stain of that time remains our national shame to date.
On one, His Excellency the President, William Ruto, and the former Prime Minister, Honorable, the Right Honorable Raila Odinga, to have an coordinational meet-up and discussion to quell political tension in the country. They must meet and come together and talk. We demand. Yes. Azimio One Kenya coalition, we call upon you to call off the demonstrations and use alternative approaches to handle your grievances. Civil society organizations to stop being sucked into political persuasions, but retain their positions as the dependable nerve centers of good governance, leadership, and national security advocacy. Religious leaders to fully engage political leaders in non-partisan ways for the good of the country and interreligious support to national leadership. Media to engage, pursue non-partisan, non-aligned coverage and reporting of political events so that media reporting and coverage is not misconstrued to fund political motives. Politicians to immediately stop aggressive political mobilization aimed at destabilizing national peace and security.